welcome back to Downtime Activities, and welcome to our Devils of the West series, now with 100% real Jerry.
Yeah!
Not from Concentrate.
Jerry! Yeah,
Jerry.
no concentrate, no pulp.
No.
All new recipes, same great taste.
Yeah, he is.
Jerry's the kind of guy that claps at the end of the plane ride.
I did that once, okay?
And we'll never let you forget it.
The last flight I was on, the pilot just about deserved it.
It is a true marvel. It is a flying. You went up.
They don't exist yet. Back to the then times, which are the now times. Welcome back to Devils of the West, and welcome to this episode. The last we left, our rootin' tootin' cowboy shooting cowpoke. They gotten themselves
Just
into...
one cowpoke?
Well, only, at least, I don't know. How many of you are really rootin' tootin' cowboy shooting? You're all probably cowboy shooting.
Professor Bogus is not.
Yeah, exactly. So, when last we left, you were tasked by the governor to track down some strange creatures of the night, what ended up to be some sort of feral vampire-like creatures. Upon finding them, they more found you in an alley, and a pretty violent scuffle broke out. The dice did as they do. One of you had a heart attack and survived it, and one of you got all the blood sucked out of you. Poor Jeffress, when last we left, was lying on the ground, seeming to be fully drained of blood and no longer a part of the living. And that's where we pick back up. Both of these creatures are dealt with. And we've got an unconscious man.
Are we going to have law enforcement rush in here on the amount because of the sheer amount of gunfire that just happened?
Probably.
You think that if you give it a little time, they likely will?
I think I need to skedaddle.
We might all need to skedaddle because the only person who can vouch for us is currently unconscious. It's not the first time that this has happened either.
No.
Should we pick up our party numbers?
I'll yell. I doubt there's anybody in the surrounding area, again, because of the sheer amount of gunfire. I'll yell for somebody to get the Rangers anyway.
Okay.
I guess...
We have a downed ranger and a poor old man.
I guess I'll reload my guns and then go check on the dead Jeffress.
You go and check on the dead Jeffress. He's a dead Jeffress.
I'm no doctor, but this man is dead.
You are no doctor, but you're competent enough in the arts of medicine to know that blood is necessary for life, and he ain't gotten a...
Can I slap Jeffress?
You can't.
That just seems disrespectful. The man's dead.
I'm
He
just
wakes up.
double-checking.
Just kidding.
It worked. Congratulations.
You slap his face, he just limply goes to the side.
Yeah, he did.
How's the corporal doing?
The corporal seems to be breathing. He's you can see that his breath seems to be kind of fast and shallow, but he is still breathing.
I'll also yell for somebody to get a doctor.
Okay.
Again, I don't know if anybody's here.
I managed to stabilize him, but who knows how long that'll last.
According to the rules, forever.
So you guys are waiting around for some help to show up?
Pretty much. What else is there to do?
It's also going to look suspicious if we just got to run. So...
Yes, that is what I am doing.
What are you gonna
Jeffress will choose to wait here and do nothing.
But it's his choice.
It's his choice.
Yeah, I'm just gonna stay over the ranger, the youngin here, and just make sure he doesn't keel over.
Okay. If you guys give it a little bit of time, there will be a law enforcement response who will, seeing that you guys are is anyone leaving before they get here? That's what we're saying. Are you gonna?
I'm gonna fucking stab.
Okay. You look like somebody else fleeing the scene. Because there's not in like a criminal sort of way, like there's gunfire, let's get out of here sort of way.
Nice.
You're able to blend well enough. After a minute or two, there is a law enforcement response. There's what looks like 2 rangers as well as a number of kind of just the local police force. If you guys, how are you explaining the situation? So they're like, what's happening here?
We got jumped. We got attacked.
Yeah.
That's very much.
This fella's a corporal with the Texas Rangers.
He had a heart attack.
We got attacked by these creatures. I mean, I don't know. I guess if you're just explaining he had a heart attack, I guess he had a heart attack in the middle of the fight.
And then our poor friend over there, who's limp on the ground. I don't know what those attackers did to him, but He's paler than some kind of son of a bitch ghost.
You don't believe in those?
It's a turn of phrase.
You can't say that. You're dead.
The dead stay quiet.
The ranger's gonna be like, somebody get a doctor over here, quick! And they're gonna start to kind of secure the scene. They're gonna take statements from the two of you who are there unconscious. Out of curiosity, Grimes, where do you go? What do you do?
I'm gonna go to the bar.
All right, let's start with that. So, Grimes, you head over to the nearest hole in the wall, and there's a little bit of like people aghast talking and stirring stuff up about like, here's a bunch of gunfire. We better stay indoors. I heard some crazy people attacked the ranger. Yada yada. There's like that kind of hushed whispers as you walk in.
So I'm hearing the gossip. Is there any pretty ladies in there?
Go ahead and give me a notice or perception or whatever it is in this one.
Guys over here, the
Notice?
biggest horn dog I've ever seen.
Is
I almost gave you a difficulty
Father
that
figure
notice,
died.
but
We're not playing Star.
We're
We're
not
not playing
playing
Star Wars.
Damn it! I got it too.
No.
that's it.
Oh, never mind.
This, and then
Wrong system.
Wrong system. My bad.
one of these.
What was I looking for? Alright. Drive.
Four explodes.
Have the
Both explode.
No, that's a 6.
Oh.
That's a 6 out. I asked you the 4
4
explodes.
explodes. 4 explodes.
If there are any pretty ladies in the nearest
They
line,
can't hide.
So 15.
There's not a whole. There's plenty of like decent looking women in here. But there's one beautiful woman who you can see sitting alone in a corner that may be the prettiest woman you've seen since the last one that smacked you in the forehead with
She-
a
plot twist. She's the sister of the one who just smacked you over the head with the meat
I'm
cleaver.
gonna go over there. I'm gonna first get 2 drinks.
All right.
And go over there and give her one of the drinks.
All right, you sit down. You just slide a drink up to her.
Yeah.
She looks at the drink, looks up at your not just handsome but very handsome face, and she says, "Well, I'll be. There is a gentleman left in this town. Thank you." And takes a sip. "What's your name, stranger?"
Rhymes.
"Grimes, huh? Well, I'm Katie. Nice to meet you."
Nice to meet you too, young lady. You seem like a very nice guy.
And go ahead, for the sake of this, there's going to be just a little bit of time of flirtatiousness that I'm going to have you roll, is it charm, persuasion, whatever it is in this system?
Persuasion,
Persuasion.
which you have a bonus to. So it's a 3 plus your charisma, which is. Where's your charisma?
Oh, you also.
It's just from your edges, you're going to... This is
Oh
dealing
yeah,
with some
it's
of the
a
new
total
tech.
of plus
Plus
4
4, yeah.
from
So
attractive
7.
and very attractive.
So, over this time, she seems very, very enthralled by everything you're saying. She does like... She does mention her faith quite a few times. It seems like she's like quite the devout person. She's not sure how likely she is to be one to hop right in the sack with you or anything like that. But she seems very interested in you, and she actually invites you to her church.
Oh.
Is it the church where we exercise the necklace?
Movie recording has been stopped automatically.
So she's very religious, but she does invite you. She says that her church doesn't like meet at a church; they meet at someone's house.
These are Satan
See,
worshippers.
the second he said faith, but like didn't explain anything more than that, I was immediately started.
She
being
is wearing a cross on the necklace.
it upside down?
It is not. It seems to be a right side up cross that she is wearing on her necklace. And she
They're
does.
turning themselves into vampires.
She says that they meet in a house and gives you the address and says they'll be meeting in 2 days' time. And they have a big retreat coming up that if you are so inclined, you might be able to come with them.
I'm definitely going.
Okay? You know in 2 days' time you got an invite to meet this lady at her in-home church with
What day is in 2 days' time? Out of curiosity.
It
Thursday.
seems like a Friday.
Yeah,
I was gonna say, this
Not
seems like
Sunday.
a Friday thing that they would do that.
Not Sunday.
So Thursday?
That's what that's all I want to know.
back to the less interesting part of this.
back to us. Back to us giving depositions.
Yeah, so the both of you that are conscious will get questioned, and I assume you both give a similar account. I guess what are each of your accounts of the events of the evening to these?
I mean,
one ranger will go with each of you and get your statements.
I mean, I'll tell him. Since Grimes seems to have run for the border, not that I blame him, I'll probably just give leaving Grimes out of it, but give a fairly not necessarily round for round recount of what happened, but
just keep my name out.
I need to roll some. Nope, I guess I don't mention the governor.
Okay.
But mention that we were working with the ranger. And we got attacked. Got jumped by these crazy folk who were biting people.
Okay.
Took a lot of bullets to go down, as you can see, went from his body.
That's me too.
Well, I mean,
He had a heart attack.
I
He got his
mean,
blood
pretty
sucked.
much.
Loaded.
Obviously, my questioning is going to take a lot longer because, as per my condition of not being able to hear,
And you're an old man, so you have to give every single
Yeah, I thought it was
well, I
It all
will still.
started when I was born, and it's been downhill ever since.
It's not been downhill. Good. Don't you start. I leave. I definitely will leave Grimes out because I too saw him run for the border. And again, not that I blame it. Not that we blame him. But
It makes me wonder what I'm doing here.
I know, Ed.
I mean, considering
You're my
I probably would have known we were working for somebody, but I will leave out the governor because
Happened
Professor
to
Bogus
him,
probably
Alabama.
did not know and or care.
Your ass.
He was just like, yeah, I'll help the ranger. It'll be a good time to test the gadgets, and that's pretty much it. Then we got attacked, and they came out so quickly, it scared the youngin over there, gave him a damn near heart attack. Although they did do some, I don't know what kind of equipment they used, but they drained that poor fellow over there. He's paler than a sheet.
The kind that goes on a ghost that you don't believe in? They will take both the statements, say that they're going to ask you to just come with them and stick with them until they get the ranger or two to corroborate your story, but then they're not putting you in cuffs or anything. They say come with us.
No.
They seem to trust that you're on the up and
That's
up.
nice, because in Rascatoon, that was the first thing they did.
Just throw you in mines.
First question, they're not de-arming me, right? I'm
No,
not gonna.
they don't take your guns from you or anything. They say as long as you willingly go with them, there shouldn't be any trouble. They just have to make sure that the ranger comes to and can corroborate your story.
What?
Come with us, old timer.
Okay.
And the healthcare arrives. They're going to take you back to a hospital y'all have been to before, and the
We're getting
procession
real
of you
familiar
guys will
with
go
this
there,
place.
which is probably for the best.
Bless you.
Yes, you have a less than fun evening. Hanging out around there, but it'll be a night's sleep where before he's going to kind of come back to the next morning. They do upon arrival and examination, they do announce Jeffress dead on the scene. The physician does. When they turn there.
Ripperino.
Well,
May he rest in whatever divine thing he believed in.
I guess I need to decide whether we bury him here or whether we should have him shipped back to Rascatoon to be buried.
Kind of a long trip. I feel like you get a little,
I know, that's I assume he'd want to be buried in Rascatoon, but it's not going to be a pleasant drive for that wagon driver.
So you didn't happen to have a last will and testament stuck in your shirt pocket or something, did you?
I'm dead. But the answer is no.
Do you check your shirt pocket? There's no will in there.
Just open mine. Oh, of course I do. Here you go.
There you go.
That makes me want to play characters who have printed out last wills and testaments, just in case they die.
It's just
the
an
rest of the
efficient
party
thing to
can
do.
do that.
All of Professor Bogus's belongings go to Sam if he's still alive.
Oh.
Sam's not outliving you. Don't do that.
Sam's the reason
Not
you're
his
dead.
dangerous lifestyle.
Sam's one inconsiderate smoker away from leveling a city block.
Sam's one bad loose cobblestone away from what this
I've had to yell at people when I was working at a gas station to not smoke next to the pump. I was like, hey, can you not do
not
that?
even, please?
Because I don't want to die. I'm sure you don't want to.
Yeah, I guess I'll discuss his funeral arrangements
In the
with
morning,
the rest of the party.
in the
when
morning,
they, return.
Grimes isn't there, and the body of Jeffress is removed to be interred in a coffin and set up on a cart to go wherever it needs to go. The rest of you awake, or like you guys, they let you sleep in the hospital by side. You wake up. A couple of rangers do question you about the events of the evening. Sure, I assume corroborate the story and don't go like, oh, and by the way, this one and this one have bounties on their heads that I'd like to collect.
No, I'm not ready to retire yet.
Okay, fair enough.
Goody soup.
And after that, they leave you to it. They apologize for the loss of your friend, but and they say don't worry about going and reporting. We'll get a report up to Fox.
Since we had that night's rest, do I get back my PowerPoints that I used for that? Okay.
He's gonna be mad at you for not actually taking a few days off, like he said.
Yeah.
I do believe he specifically asked you to stop digging up weird shit.
I had orders from a higher power.
Hey, Captain Fox, do vampires count as weird shit?
No way!
I guess we should see about getting Jeffress buried.
Yeah.
Are we all staying at the same hotel or something?
You aren't there. They're at the hospital right now.
Oh.
Yeah.
You were not at. You had a room, I believe, in the
Boarding house.
so you can go there.
Most
and
of us
sleep
are in
for
the
the night.
boarding house.
Nice.
Quick statistic question. I remember, does heart attack, do I have like wounds still? Or
No,
what is that?
you don't have any wounds or
We
anything.
will have scar tissue.
I mean, heart attack. It depends on the source of heart attack involved, but in terms of mechanical game crunch sense,
I'm okay.
You have a very concerned family.
that's right.
Right.
They don't want
I need to cut down on cheeseburgers.
You have a very concerned family because they assumed you were dead, and also these guys are worried about you too.
Stop drinking so much.
Well, sort of. The only guy that would is dead. So.
Yeah.
Whoever Dorothy is in Kansas is real concerned about you.
It's gonna be tough.
She'd be even more concerned about you if she knew you just had a heart attack.
Right. Yeah, we'll get him buried in the city cemetery, which we cleared out.
The one with the ghouls.
Well,
No,
there
more.
are ghouls.
The one what was with
This cemetery is 100% certified ghoul free.
And that's
Oh, you
a
still doing it.
that's a. I was gonna say that's a Professor Bogus guarantee, but I was like he doesn't believe in ghouls.
That's Ranger Mohan guarantee. Ranger Mohan guarantee. Stamp no ghouls here.
So
Most
you guys
credible person.
gather things. Jeffress affects what he wasn't wearing. I mean, like his gun and a Bible basically are handed off to you, as well as an amount of money, and the rest he's still wearing. And they take you out back, and you can see out back there is a cart with a closed coffin on the back of it, a wooden box. Not a very nice one, but a kind of very basic one. And you can see there's a guy who seemed to be kind of just finishing up, tightening stuff up on the cart, who seems to be making some small talk with an individual that only the ranger recognizes as the man that you met at the governor's residence. Not the governor himself, but Jasper Yates, his kind of butler, right-hand man sort of look. A very, very pale but built guy in a fairly nice suit. Okay. And he seems to be talking with the guy, and as he's kind of finishing tightening down a horse on the front, mule on the front of this cart. And as you guys approach, he ends the conversation, and Jasper Yates turns and walks over to you guys.
All right. Mr. Yates.
This must be your posse.
As it stands.
Sorry for the trouble that happened last night. The governor heard about it and sent me to help.
Yeah, those were some tough customers, to say the least.
I'm gonna have to ask you all to come with me. Governor might be able to help out, but this conversation needs happening, and not one that can happen out here.
Well, whatever the governor says.
Let's go.
If he's half stuff with those other motherfuckers, we guess.
Does he know about the bounties?
I mean, probably.
God, I hope not.
He knows at least that one of your party members is being hunted by someone named the Hammer, Alabama, and that
I swear to God, I'm about to
and that
shoot
you
him
wanted
if I see
help
him.
dealing with that problem. So he knows that much.
Oh yeah, I forgot that was one of the
That's what you
bonuses
asked
of taking
for.
this, taking this job.
This is a way to deal with that.
Yeah, because I figured there's no help in Grimes. I could get the bounty off of him, and then 3 weeks later we just have another bounty. So
Thanks.
Am I wrong? I mean, he's
I-
not wrong.
Love you so much.
And the lot of you all, I mean, he'll hop onto the cart and start heading that way. If you guys want to follow
Jeffress
along.
is coming with us.
Okay.
we got the whole crew.
And they'll pull up front to the governor's residence. There's a couple other servants gonna come out. And, it's actually
No stealing.
Yates goes and unlocks the gate and
I
opens
pull
it.
out my handcuffs and shake them at you.
I thought Grimes wasn't with us.
Grimes not with you.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah. Why are you
sorry.
looking at me?
I didn't
I'm
want you stealing.
sleeping off a coma of being drunk.
Yates is gonna gesture to you and be like, "Can you help me with this?" And he starts.
Okay.
Demons.
As you guys are pulled up front there, the Yates is gonna kind of gesture towards you and be like, "Can you help me out with this?" And he's gonna start maneuvering to take the coffin out of the back.
Gotcha. Alright, I'll help him.
Okay, you got the other end of it, and you guys haul him on.
I gotta give Yates a look and go, like, give the little. Just need to be sure. You're being awfully shady about this.
Yates gives you a look of like it'll be explained.
I sort of assume they're just using the coffin to smuggle rifles or something.
That's fair.
You haven't opened it yet. You guys move up, get to the door, he'll open it up, and walking in, you go to that kind of same foyer area, and the governor is there, and he kind of stands up as you guys approach and helps with the box and sets it on a kind of long dining table in that area. And he'd be like, "Well, it seems like you dealt with the problem, but things got a little out of hand."
You can say that?
It is dealt with, though. Both are taken care of. I appreciate your work. Your friend here, my understanding is he was found pretty well drained dry. Is that right?
Unfortunately.
We need to have a talk.
As you say?
Here's the thing. You have a choice to make before that conversation happens. If you would like, I can help out your friend here, though he will have to have an adjustment of lifestyle. And I can promise you a good deal more occupation in solving these kind of problems in the future. If that does not interest you, you can take your friend and go give him a peaceful burial somewhere, and I'll see what I can do about this Hammer of Alabama. Just know that once this conversation is had, it can't be unhad, and it puts you in the know of some things that will put you at odds with some folk and demand loyalty from you from others.
Well, you talking about hunting monsters?
In a sense, yes.
Yeah, man.
I'm just gonna leave this to you, little lady and youngin. I'm gonna go stay by his side.
He says, "Fair enough." Yates, and he'll walk you out front. The remainder of you are gonna stay and have this conversation.
I think so. It seems like the thing to do.
Okay.
Seems like the story thing to do.
The governor says, "I'm a part of a very old and very powerful group of people.
The Illuminati.
Vampires.
Well,
The
Vampire
Eyes
Illuminati.
of Providence." And he shows you the signet ring that you had noticed earlier, and you can see it's that like side profile of a raven with the Illuminati eye for its eye. He says, "It's an organization that has existed longer than this country has, and one that works very hard to help keep people safe from the kind of things that you're dealing with."
Oh, phew. It's not okay. It's not like the monsters controlling the government. Like we're not the bad guys. We're killing the monsters. Easy. Okay.
We're making sure monsters that
Except the fact that we're working for vampires.
He smirks, and you can see with the smirk go up, a sharp tooth get revealed.
Who I'm
on his
fairly
mouth.
certain are responsible for the creation of the 2 things we had to kill last night.
He says, "We make sure that the monsters causing trouble are stopped, and that the nation as a whole is kept taken care of, safe, and well covered."
I better call him A, better call him B, really.
It's true.
As far as
I mean,
monsters controlling the government.
Working as a government worker, you're kind of working for one bloodsucker or another, if you know what I mean.
I'm just contract.
He says, "Now your friend here, I'm afraid, is not got an option of life left, but he does have an option of undeath. As I said, it will require a change of lifestyle, but I can give him another shot to keep helping you all out. Not something I offer very often, and the only reason I offer it here is because you've done right by me, and I foresee you all being business partners in the future."
Well, Jeffress laid down his life on the line of duty. I don't see a problem with giving him a second shot, but out of character. I don't know if you. I assume we're even having this conversation because you said, "Yeah, that sounds like fun." Yeah. So.
No, that conversation didn't happen.
No conversation.
I'm just sitting here.
I know.
You're
He's
just dead.
choosing to stay laying here and do nothing.
Listen, I just don't want to bring him back and have Spiller take his new character sheet.
What's that? Dead body everywhere.
Oh,
Weekend at Bernie's kind of.
I was thinking of Swiss Army Man.
I mean, that too.
Also, we haven't taken nearly enough shrooms to do
Me,
this.
I'm Bill, I'm freaking dead.
Well, I have no issue giving him a second shot, but if he objects, once he has a say, I will have to take responsibility, put him down.
Should you choose to do so, that's a conversation between you and him.
Goder's like, I don't care, Gil.
Basically.
Yeah.
Y'all want to kill all of each other? Sure, I don't care.
Just do it outside.
None of my nice carpet.
Don't blow
He's
in
a
my walls.
vampire. You don't want his stuff to be all gross.
You're like,
You know how hard it is to get blood out of a
another
rock?
thing here,
He would know, he's a vampire.
I have a strong suspicion that he may not be all too willing to accept this gift, lying down, as it were. So I'm gonna need your help to hold him down.
There? Man, I wish Grimes was here.
You could come get me.
If he re-breaks my arm, I'm breaking somebody else's
I
arm.
know. I'll help hold him down.
Okay.
I'll hold him down.
Mr. Yates will go to the head of the coffin. You two will be positioned either side, and the governor will be positioned at the foot. And he kind of will gesture to Yates, and the two of them will lift and slide the lid off of this coffin, and you can see lying there, pale as the sheet of a ghost, Jeffress, who is lying there. But as this kind of slides and moves, and kind of some air circulates through here, you can see him kind of shock awake and sit up, and he has like bloodshot eyes, and you can see already sharp teeth formed on either side of his mouth.
Uh-oh.
And he immediately is kicking up and grabbing at you guys wildly. So I'm gonna have both of you on either side go ahead and roll me an athletics, and we're going to get one from.
Hey, I'm very good at
Why
this.
am I the one helping with this if it's athletics checks?
I know. I was hoping that it would be. Athletics is agility too.
I'm
I
passed
mean, it
out.
doesn't matter. It's a D6 and D4.
Dude, is there like noticeable noise coming from here? In here? That's...
You're out through multiple doors at this point, so you don't hear that little bit of a rush.
It's a total of 1.
Total of 1.
Minus
6.
2.
Oh, wait, yeah, 6.
Okay.
Minus 2.
So 6-1, you can see that like this guy immediately is like he's reaching out. Yates immediately like puts him in a headlock, has the head like pinned super tight, and you can see like as Yates reaches the arm around, you can see like, this big old gun bulge out. Like this guy's very very strong.
This guy's packing some heat.
You didn't know you bought tickets, but you were definitely at the gun show right now.
When we have to fight that guy in the campaign, we gotta stay out of melee.
But he immediately has him in a headlock. You have one arm pinned down, and you are struggling to keep the other pinned down. And you can see the governor kind of climb up onto the table at the foot of it, and he begins to bite at his own wrist as he's walking towards it. And I'm gonna have one more round of those to see how you guys do at keeping him pinned as the governor approaches him. Three?
Seven.
So between the two, so what it's going to be is you grab back hold of that arm finally. You almost lose your grip of it. I'm going to have Sklur roll for Jeffress in athletics at a total of -4. Really quick for me.
But you do actually have a D8 in athletics.
Oh no! I didn't know Jeffress was doing his push-ups, drinking his protein shakes.
I didn't know Jeffress was a bro.
6 explodes.
He's a Lord Bro. He is bro for the Lord.
-4 will be 3. Luckily, just enough to hold him, like he's starting to peel through, and as the governor gets closer, you can see Yates holding this, and it grabs his bottom jaw and kind of cranks it open a little bit, and the governor like bends over, and you can see very dark, viscous blood kind of drip out from his wrist and into the mouth of Jeffress, who starts to kind of spit and cough and like bite at it, and then goes limp in your guys' hands again.
I didn't know Jeffress was so strong. Goodness.
Yates keeps him in a headlock for just a second longer and watches and like slowly eases off.
Step back, draw a gun, and just stand up and point at Jeffress.
A moment goes by.
Don't move too suddenly when you wake up.
Jeffress, your eyes open up. Last you remembered you had some crazy creature on top of you biting you, and now you kind of jolt awake, and you're inside of a box with the roof of a fairly nice looking foyer up above you.
An inn pointing village.
And looking to either side, you see some strangers around you, as well as 2 friends, one of which is pointing a gun at you.
Welcome back to the land of the living, Jeffress.
And a very kind of sickly sweet, but very appealing to you flavor on your mouth, on your tongue.
What happened?
Well, you died. And
Mostly.
I guess you were kind of coming back anyway. We just figured you'd want to stick around rather than getting put down.
Now I'm not a cessationist, but I ain't ever seen anybody rise from the dead. Good Lord must have had another purpose for me.
That sounds like as good a reasoning as any.
Are you sure I was dead?
I mean, we could have been mistaken.
Pretty damn, yeah.
I do feel a little dead.
And again, we were pretty damn sure he was dead, and he came. Are you a vampire?
It's tough to get things to stick sometimes, that's all I'm saying.
He's no vampire, says the governor.
He's something.
I'm a ranger. Oh, apparently.
I think everybody here's got their secrets. So.
Anyway, well, what's the relevant information we need to keep Jeffress from...
Can I just bust through the door and be like, "Are you guys done yet?"
Sure, you can bust back in. You walking in and Jeffress is sitting up and alive and well.
Hey, technology is a wonderful thing, isn't it?
Sure is, says the governor. Walk with me a moment. Jeffress, was it?
Jeffress.
This way.
Rhymes with Jeffers?
If you need anything to eat or drink, Yates will take care of you. And
Yates, I'll take a whiskey.
On a short walk about some of the hallways here, and over that time explain to you some things that I will give to you right now as statistical things, but he's going to explain to you more in your sense. So, I will write these down. You're going to get the undead characteristic, which is going to give you a +2 to your toughness, and a +2 to recover from being shaken.
Where's the characteristics?
I would just write that in the edges and stuff, probably.
So +2 toughness, +2 to recover from being shaken. You will not suffer wound penalties. You can still take wounds, but you won't suffer penalties from them.
+2...
Unshaken.
But
And
not
called
start.
shots against you won't do anything. Unless it's a very specific called shot. As we learned in the last fight.
No wounds.
Hey, I did most of the work that time.
Excuse me. Professor Bogus, I believe, is the one who saved everybody's asses at one point.
Called shot. What?
Cold shots don't do
The extra damage, except for hearts. Except for heart shot.
Okay. Shot through the heart. Wait, what exactly is called shot?
You can choose to aim for a specific body part on somebody, and it can have like specific injuries or bonus damage. For you, like if somebody chooses to shoot you in the head, it'll be harder to do, and they won't get the extra damage.
Okay.
Basically. You also have a good number of weaknesses that'll come along with this. First weakness is to holy symbols. A character with a holy symbol can't keep you at bay, so basically if somebody displays a holy symbol at you, you have to do an opposed spirits roll with them in order to approach.
I have a question.
That's gonna
It's gonna
cause
hurt your
conflict.
conflict of
Can
interest
he
here.
enter a church?
If he beats a spirit roll against the building.
Well, it's like somebody holding and displaying it to you that there'd be.
What
So,
if I carve 10 crosses on the silver bullets?
so you have weakness to holy symbol. I would write at least weakness to holy symbol, if not all that down. You have weakness to holy water. If you're sprinkled with holy water, you're fatigued. If you are immersed in holy water, you combust as if you were in direct sunlight, which I will tell you the statistics on below as we get to that.
So from sprinkled,
Sprinkled, you get a level of fatigue.
fatigued.
If you're immersed, you combust.
Damn, so we could have solved this problem with just a bit of holy water.
Possibly.
Immersed.
Oh, granted, that
A lot
priest
of it.
wouldn't have given us any more holy water.
One of you got holy water, didn't you? Like go to ice the priest for some. Anyway,
I think it was our friend Grimes over here.
possibly.
How's that from a wood stake?
You ready for the next one?
Yeah.
The next is weakness invitation only. You cannot enter a private dwelling without being invited.
Oh, that one's fun.
Can we step inside and then invite him in? Or does it have to be like technically a resident?
I think technically a resident.
Yeah, I don't think we get that.
No, we're no cheating the system. You can enter public domains as you please, but in private dwellings you have to be invited. Stick through the heart. Double damage. So basically, what they did, you can do. So yours is gonna be a little different, but it's gonna be a -6. They can do a -6 heart shot on you. If it hits, you have to make a vigor roll. If you fail, then you die disintegrated to dust. If you succeed, then you take double damage.
Cool.
Okay, we'll have to look that up next time. If
And last but not least, weakness to sunlight. If any part of your skin is exposed to direct sunlight, you will suffer 2d10 damage per round. Armor does not protect against it. You can wear clothing, and as long as you keep yourself fully covered and you have a wide brim hat and stuff, it's sunlight directly touching your skin. Every round of that will be 2d10 damage.
Good thing we don't live in like the West.
Wait,
There's lots of sun.
You need to glove up.
Yeah, so I guess your toughness goes up to 6 there.
you do also have the ability to drain blood from people. Basically, the way that's going to work is like it's a bite attack. It's just you using your fighting, and if it hits, it deals suffers a fatigue level from. They have to make a vigor roll at a -2 with a raise or suffer fatigue from the blood loss. And if they get enough fatigue, it can kill them. At which point, other stuff can happen. You get a bonus to it if you have them grappled. Also, something that he talks about during this time is that you will have both the desire and need to feed over time. That doesn't have to. You don't have to necessarily kill somebody, but that you are going to need human blood or at least blood. He says human blood works a lot better in a fairly regular interval. Otherwise, you will start to lose your mind.
I bet that Hammer Alabama got a bunch of blood in him.
He's quite here.
I mean, he's gonna have a big old hole in his chest if I see him again.
He's gonna have a lot less blood in him.
And he explains to you that all these limitations that you are now going to have to face in your life. and that he says, from some of what you've said, you seem to be a holy man. You can suffer from this affliction and praise your God nevertheless. Just understand that his fellow disciples will not look too kindly upon you.
Well, I reckon I'd fit right in the Bible then.
He'd probably make you one of his disciples.
A
Lesser known disciple. Vladimir.
what I do say is
Of
like,
Pennsylvania.
I don't understand, sir. My soul belongs to the Lord.
And your soul may very well make its way to him in its time. Fortunately, fortunately, I would say, it's got a little bit more time to do good work here.
Well, guess that's a good way to put it.
To be very direct and honest with you, I have very little understanding of what or where your soul is or going. I don't know if it is returned to you. All I know is that I know that God is real, and I know that the devil is real. I don't claim to understand their nature or their motives. I recommend not pissing either off.
You ever read the story of Lazarus?
I've heard.
I reckon maybe God uses things in ways that don't seem like it maybe were him.
We're having a theological discussion about whether Jesus was a vampire. Is that the
Lazarus. You don't have to be a vampire if you're God
Right.
incarnate. Probably.
We're not saying that Jesus was a vampire. We're saying that he had the power to turn someone into a vampire.
He chose not to. What a bastard.
All right. Well, I
You
stopped
guys-
bothering you. Well, thank you kindly, sir.
You're very welcome.
Yeah, also he now owns our asses, so.
Yours in particular, but all of ours do.
It was a group effort.
Well, I mean,
Us at least.
yeah, he will probably own mine if he can actually get rid of the hammer slash my bounty.
Dr. Diablery over here is gonna. You can make your own decisions. By the way.
I mean, I walked out. I didn't hear anything.
You don't know, yeah.
I mean, I
So I mean, he can't say I heard that conversation. Now I'm on. So, yeah.
look, I already knew that monsters existed. This doesn't really change anything. It's true. Just gives me a chance to hunt them in a somewhat official capacity.
But were we the real monsters the whole time?
No, most of the people we've met have been more monstrous than us.
I was the monster the whole time. I mean, no, regular.
You gotta
ranger.
be a monster and work for a monster to kill a monster.
Kind of an out of character question.
Yeah.
Is the governor kind of aware of what Matty G is over here?
That's up to you to decide. He, from your previous interactions with him, he seems to at least understand something's up. He gave you some knowing looks and whatnot last time.
I'm
you talked
starting
with him.
to understand something's up. Because I'm remembering that you died once.
Nah,
At least.
shook it off.
Well, that we saw.
Yeah.
I mean, in Professor Bogus's eyes, he saved him. So he kept him alive long
Wanna
enough,
grab
but
me
they just
something there
assumed his
too,
death.
friend?
I'll, I'll take a drink. Real Jerry would like one.
Is there still a fake manzanita in the door?
Maybe, yes.
For the last fake man.
The last of the manzanitas.
Maybe it's
Please,
fine.
maybe or maybe you're not cutting this part because we're talking this way. You guys mind checking the camera and seeing how we're doing that?
It's still good.
Take a Dr. Ketchup. Dr.
Doctor.
I'll have a Dr. Denver.
Dr. Thunder's in the top. There you go.
Make it drunk.
It's
Yeah.
Dr. Thunder.
I knew it was Dr. something.
Well, because I got Dr. Thunder and Mountain Lightning.
It's on the
Anyone
top.
else?
It's
Anyone
a
else drink?
Very
You're good?
Good.
Jeffress. You got his mains?
My Manzana crisp apple soda. Sorry, crisp apple soda.
Crisp apple.
Chris Apple.
Manzanita
Well, no,
soda,
it's-
which is Little apple, son.
Oh no, that's his Mercant.
And anything else?
say, 'cause I think
Anyone
I'm-
like a cookie before?
Oh yeah.
I'm good.
Oh yeah, apple
wait till the
crisp.
Okay.
Apple soda.
Yeah, it is literally apple crisp apple,
It's
apple
no,
soda.
it's
naturally
no spicy cherry soda, that's for sure.
It's definitely not.
And you guys return back. Jeffress and the governor return back to this foyer. Maybe some of you might be sipping drinks now. Yates is happy to grab whatever.
I'm definitely having a whiskey.
Whiskey. You got it? Whiskey?
Oh, I'm fine.
Okay, whiskey.
Come
for
on,
you.
youngins, let's celebrate. They brought him back. Because technology is great.
It's fair. Well,
drink away the thought of selling your soul to the devil. Well, it's a more minor devil than the other devil.
fair. Yeah, you should see what happens when you sell your soul to the real devil.
I'd rather avoid that. We've run into him
Have you
already.
sold your soul then for a real devil?
We don't have to worry about that right
I'd sell my soul for a real devil.
now. Well, it wasn't you.
Nobody wants to sell their soul to some fake devil.
No, not two.
Four.
Or for a fake devil.
Yeah.
You might need it. It's like
You might need him.
it's like selling a kid.
Anyway.
He says, I'm still working. I didn't expect y'all to be this efficient, to be honest with you. I'm still working on figuring out something for this bounty hunter situation. You give me a couple of days, I'm sure I can find out a way to make that not a problem.
Well,
In the meantime, take some time, rest, recuperate. I'll send for you when I've got some more information and possibly some other tasks needing done.
fair enough. I guess
Should we go find the missing member here?
I'm sure Grabs can take care of himself.
Well, I'm just saying, last time we trusted him to take care of himself, he ended up with a meat hammer to the face.
Y'all
That
said
was
that is
part
set up.
of the plan.
Was
No,
it
not the
though?
meat hammer.
As you guys are walking out to, the governor is going to stop you, Jeffress, and he's going to hand you a coin, a decent size, like size of like one of those like 50-cent coins, like a fairly decent sized one. That's kind of a dark gray metal, and on one side is a star, and on the other side is an Eye of Providence. And he hands it to you. He says, "This will mean something to the right people, and be careful of that gun you've got on your hip. I can feel it from. I felt it as soon as they walked into this place."
Speaking of selling your soul to the devil.
Well,
Awful lot of that going on around here.
reckon I've rode with old Betty Ann for many years.
Just be mindful of where she spits lead.
Okay. Dito burrito.
If we're leaving, what time is it?
I mean, you guys arrived in the morning, and this debacle probably took no more than a couple hours, so noonish, maybe a little before.
So, I have trousers and dress shirt and a Stetson. I'm probably gonna want gloves. Will Stetson.
You think that
Shield
if
me
you
enough.
tie a bandana up, you kind of pop the collar on your dress shirt and have a bandana around your neck, the Stetson should shade you as long as you keep your head
You
down?
want to borrow my duster for now?
Oh, that'd be kind of cool.
Oh no! You need to watch the Van Helsing anime. This is like a long coat.
As for gloves, the governor can get you some black leather.
Okay, so I'll do that and I'll borrow
The duster.
the duster and get a bandana.
I know exactly what
Okay.
you're talking about.
You don't have to have it around your mask looking like a bandito burrito out here, but you can have it just kind of tied up to where it's covering, shading your neck. Your hat will cover wide enough that it'll shade you as long as you keep your head down, and then the duster up around the gloves. You're going to be covered.
I want that coat back when you get your own. For now, if it'll keep you from bursting into flames when we walk outside, you are welcome to use it.
Can't say it's where I expected the Jeffress story to go, but I'm happy to.
It was Providence.
Professor Bogus just kind of look at the whole ordeal of them and giving Jeffers.
He's got a skin condition.
I mean,
Full circulation.
he's just going to assume that
cold.
it's just a matter of waiting for the blood to kind of get everywhere.
Well, he's probably got the chills still. You know, it's
Yeah.
just to keep him warm.
Yeah, that's what he's thinking.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah,
Makes sense.
I'm not gonna question it.
All right. I guess we're just
Am I more or less identifiable without the duster? About the same.
about the same. I guess we'll lay low for a couple of days. Do
I
what he
suppose I
said.
could just go buy a duster.
You should, but this will get you out the door.
Yes.
You guys have a little bit of time, a little bit of downtime. We'll say for the sake of brevity that you go back to the boarding house and find your friend there. He was up late, slept in later.
Yep.
I'm just
$10.
gonna fix my gadgets. Kind of adjust the sights on one of them so it's better, easier to shoot.
Maybe go hunting or something.
I'm up and then I see these two are alive. I'm actually pretty happy about this. I'm like, oh, thank God. Oh, thank God. Alright.
Thank God! Oh my gosh, you're cold!
Why are you so cold?
He's got a lot of more clothes on than you're used to seeing him in, and he's not cold to the touch because you're going through, like, you are cold to the touch now, but your clothing is not, so it's not noticeable just giving you a...
Why are you dressed funny?
You won't tell Grimes about.
He's cold, Grimes. Just don't worry about it.
Oh. Tell me about what?
He's just got a bit of a skin condition after his ordeal.
I reckon the professor will be able to explain it better anyway.
Well, you see, technology's a wonderful thing. He's just cold. And he is going to have that skin condition for however long it's going to take for all that blood to get back.
Huh. Yeah, that makes sense.
That's all there is to it.
I mean, he's not wrong, technically.
And I was Dusty, don't want to tell the boy.
No one tell the boy. Fair enough.
You want to be a good role model still.
Yeah.
He needs one of those.
It's going to be real awkward when Sunday comes and you don't go to church.
No, I'm gonna go to church. See what happens. As long as I don't.
You do have, that tomorrow is your special day.
Of course.
Grimes, why are you smiling so big?
Grimes is gonna get turned into a werewolf.
I wish I'd gone to that party.
That's why you got flirt with girls more.
She is one.
They're just friends.
That's what.
This is a time in history where they're going to be weird about this. Although this is my version of history, so
why
maybe it's
not?
more acceptable.
Yeah, maybe.
Because I get to choose that.
Hooray!
In history,
I get to make a better timeline. Not a good one, but a better one. Vampires are better than people who don't just let people be.
You heard him. Vampires are better than bigots. You heard it here first.
Do you want to be a bigot or do you want to be a vampire? Take your pick.
I'd like to hear you.
Unfortunately, we got the timelines with racists and bigots. Why didn't we get the werewolf
No
and vampire
werewolf or
timeline?
vampire. We also have deal ghouls, but,
And first lockets that have big spooky heads.
That's
in them.
true. Devil never gave me weird cryptic advice in the woods.
I'm gonna spend the
Advice?
day going and getting all
Threats?
pretty up for
Okay.
my big day.
So you have this day,
Grimes' big day.
Grimes is going and getting all cleaned up for the big day, the big next day.
I
But the rest
look
of you
at the
guys-
rest of them and I go, something's up here. Grimes is going and taking a bath for no reason here. What's going on here?
Last time he took a bath, it was because of a lady.
I'm gonna go with the lady. Generally, he did spend a whole 12 hours out of our company, so he's probably went and found someone.
Probably. That would make a lot of
Let's
sense.
hope this one doesn't try and butcher him and cook him.
But she was.
I was gonna try and make an innuendo out of that, but I don't think I can.
If she just didn't try to.
Hopefully this one doesn't suck him dry.
That might be exactly what you're looking for. At least a $5 hand pump. That's too easy.
Just so you know, the battery on that's about dead.
Alright, that might be where we.
How close is it about dead?
It's flashing red.
It's just flashing the battery.
Let's okay, well, we'll just kind of wrap up the day's stuff. So you're gonna go and get prettied up for your big special day.
I'm gonna go get a bath, haircut, beard trim. all
Okay.
that fancy
Working on your gadgets.
Yeah.
What are the other three you guys gonna do?
Going hunting.
Going hunting?
I'm sure I've got some paperwork to do.
You can go and fill out some paperwork. Avoid Fox's office at all costs. And how about you? You go and buy a duster, but apart from
I'm going buy a duster, and I just kind of sit alone and think for a little bit.
have a moment to ponder the situation you are now in. Thank you for watching, everybody. That is what we're going to call this episode. Sorry, there's been some weird cuts and stuff in this one. We're figuring out real Jerry being here and different camera angles and stuff. But hopefully it all came across pretty smoothly for you, and will be at least improved upon in the next one of these. And we will see you in the next one as Grimes goes on a date. Those go great every time. And the rest of you guys maybe work on hunting down this here Hammer, Alabama. Thank you for watching.